There's Mike.
What's up, fellers?
We were just wondering about that theme song.
I just happened to have been working on it this morning. So
oh, no way.
yeah, and it was I had to hook up. I still use all the same stuff like me and Ed used to record with to write songs. Ed King, that when I'm writing songs, I put it down. So I've got an idea. It goes, you want to hear it?
Yeah. I was asking you just to sing me the lyric, and I was going to sing it myself. But yeah, let's hear what you got there.
It's a Stone Roadie show. All the skin formation that you need to know. Greg's got it all, so don't you go. It's time for the Stone Roadie show.
Yeah.
Podcast 297. Action. All righty, fellow Stone Roadie Nation. Looky here. My name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie. And I'm sorry that you're stuck with an asshole baby with a waterhead to try to give you the information you want to know here on the Stone Roadie show. But I seem to be the only one that's willing to try to accomplish such a feat 50 years after everybody's gone. There's a couple more people that were actually there, that seen some of this stuff that went on, but unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever, that they're smart enough not to want anything to do with anything like a podcast or whatever. So yeah. So you're stuck with an asshole baby with a waterhead to try to fulfill this whatever I'm trying to do here. But yeah, y'all wanted me to write a book, and I'm not smart enough to write a book, and I'm not smart enough to do a podcast by myself, and that's why I got my co-host and co-pilot and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin, to help me out. So, yeah, where are we going to go with this one here this week here on, I guess it's Wake and Bake 167, and it's Wednesday, March 19th there, Griff. So what the heck?
Yeah, and I think it was Jeff that said in the comments, we need to change it to the Grumpy Old Crook Show. Craig has been in a bad mood lately, man. Little things set him off, like if he sits down in his chair and he's all comfortable and ready to go, and then, of course, he forgets things like 3 or 4 times, and then he's raising hell. But yeah, so he's, I don't know, ever since you fell, Craig, you said ever since you fell, you just haven't not been right, man.
No, I had some trauma, man. That's pretty serious. Somebody my age that falls like that, you go through some trauma. I tried to shake it off, but it's still bothering me. My body's still going through. Just don't want to cooperate here.
But you might have.
Man, I've been having horrible nightmares. I mean, every time I fall asleep, I have the worst nightmare. Chad woke me up twice yesterday. I'm going, God, thank God you called. I was having the worst nightmare. You woke me up. And this morning, boy, oh boy, I was having a really bad one, man. I woke up, oh God, I'm glad I woke up. That ain't real. Man, that was strange. I've been talking about, I think I'm in the wrong dimension and all this. And seems like these dreams I'm having, they're taking me to other dimensions. And when I wake up, I'm glad I'm in this one.
I don't know, man. I kind of like to sleep my way out of this dimension.
Oh, man.
Used to be when you went to sleep, you had a nightmare and you woke up and you said, "Wow, I'm glad that was a nightmare." Now you wake up from your sleep and go, "Oh, that's right. I'm living in a nightmare."
Don't matter how bad your life is, there's always somebody's life that's a lot worse, you know.
Yeah, you got that right, man. We take things for
People
granted.
going through hell, man. There's always something always comes up and bites you on the ass, man. When it's least expected, you're elected, man. It's
Like that fall and you were talking about. I remember when I was over at a friend of mine's house and they were kind of like a redneck family and that somebody was throwing the baby up in the air and catching the baby and somebody comes running in there and don't throw that baby up in the air or you'll flip its liver. And so maybe that's what happened to you, Craig, when you fell, you flipped your liver.
no,
And you
I didn't hurt I mean, I didn't bust any ribs or hit my skeleton, my back or nothing like that. But man, it hit. I don't know. I didn't, I wasn't peeing blood or anything. But man, I went through some trauma. I can tell you that, boy.
Yeah, well, you fell on some icy steps. So
It's like the plane crash. I was, I went back to work right away. That was in October, and I went back to work in February. But I was still suffering trauma. You know, so it's just the way that goes.
well, do you feel any physical like pain? Like,
No,
when
I'm getting over it now. The other day when Donald was here, he had a Toyota. He was coming in his wife's Toyota Corolla, and it was a little low to the ground, and I had a little bit of trouble going getting out of that. But yeah,
well,
yeah.
there's
Before we started on anything else, yeah, they brought those astronauts back today, and
yeah,
I heard there's a federal judge wanting to send them back.
why?
I think
Because they're
that's
is that a joke?
I think that's a Republican joke.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you
Federal
see how I
judge,
believed it?
astronauts came back today, and a federal judge wants to send them back. Like, we want to send back those Venezuelan refugees, and the federal judge said, "No, we got to keep them here." You know, they do
I,
it
when you
exactly
said that, I
opposite
didn't
what they're
doubt it.
supposed to do.
When you said that, I didn't doubt it. I actually believed it.
I don't believe they brought him back. Yeah, they dropped him out of an airplane and picked him up in the well, I don't believe in any of that bullshit. Hell, they gained weight, and now the news is saying, "Oh yeah, they can't walk because they lost so much muscle mass," and blah 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 blah. I don't believe nothing them some of bitches say, man.
Wouldn't it
They're
be
all bunch of
something if they
damn
were playing
liars.
us on both sides? Like they got this Trump actor now, and now they're really laughing at us because there's a lot of us that believe it, and oh my God, you could go into all kinds of stuff, but you gotta hope, man. You gotta play the game, the hope game, because you don't want to walk around hopeless.
Well, all I know is you can't form water into a ball. You can't do it. It's impossible. I mean, I don't care. I don't
Well,
know.
you
I mean,
you
I
don't
used to
see.
think you could. A couple years ago, I used to believe you could form water into a ball and shoot it out into space at the speed of light, and we'd be on it and just singing happy birthday. But I don't
Well, they
kind of.
proved it on the space station when they took some water and they threw it in the air, and it was like little droplets in the shape of a ball floating around, and that's gravity keeping it all together.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
But we may never know, man. We may never know.
Yeah.
Because when you
There is no such thing as gravity. There is a such thing as the theory of gravity, but there's no, that's all there is. There's the theory of gravity, but nobody's ever proved it.
Hey, Craig, did you see where in Facebook that friend of ours, Philip Morgan, said that now Sirius XM has a Southern rock channel? To me, that's huge because I've had Sirius satellite XM ever since they came around, but it was just Sirius to begin with, and they grandfathered me in at like this. Like I pay this ridiculously low price because I've had it for so long, and I love Sirius, but now they got a Southern Rock channel. That's pretty cool. There. What do you listen to music on, Craig?
I don't listen to music. We've talked about that before. I listen to
You
talk
don't
radio. I don't listen to music at all.
even when you're driving in your car?
Nope.
Damn, a freaking roadie who don't listen to a roadie who traveled the world and with three different bands
I
and
either
used to
watch.
tune guitars, and now you don't even listen to music. That's like,
No, don't listen to it. Sometimes when I travel, I listen to it, but uh, mostly I just listen. I seriously, when I travel, if I listen to anything, I listen to old Skinner stuff because I don't listen to that very often. And yeah, if I'm not listening to talk radio stations, I'm watching TV in my car.
well, speaking of music and a little trivia here, I like to throw a little trivia every now and then. I was never like a big Kristofferson fan. I was like, oh, yeah, he's all right, but I didn't see what the big deal was. He wrote that Bobby McGee, and Help Me Make It Through the Night and some other ones.
I like The
Uh,
Star Is Born with him and Barbara Streisand.
I never saw
The
that.
movie. No? Yeah, The
No.
Star Is Born with him and Barbara Streisand. That was pretty good.
And I like that one when he was and Mel Gibson played. What was the name of that one? He was in there with Mel Gibson. That was a great movie there. But anyway, then there's this guy who was talking about, yeah, he was my favorite country singer, and he goes, and I'll tell you why. Did you know that Chris Christopherson was a graduate of Oxford? He had a Rhodes Scholarship, which like is one of the highest ones you can get. He played football. He was a Golden Gloves boxer. When he listed in the Army in Fort Rucker, he became a helicopter pilot.
Oh,
Then he
shit.
became yeah. Then he became a ranger. Then he was in the Army as a ranger. Then he was getting ready to go to
A
Vietnam.
Ranger.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was a ranger. Then he was getting ready to go to Vietnam as a helicopter pilot, and they said, "No, you're going to go teach English at West Point." So he taught English at West Point. Then he wrote the song, couple songs, and he was trying to get Johnny Cash to listen to him, and Johnny Cash wouldn't. So he flew. He took a military helicopter and landed it on Johnny Cash's property, and Johnny Cash tried to run him off and goes, "I'll leave if you listen to my songs." And so that's where that song Sunday Morning Coming Down that Johnny Cash did of Chris Christopherson's song. But yeah, a little interesting there. You never know about somebody, man. I didn't know Chris Christopherson did all that shit.
No, I knew he ran around with Willie and all them back.
Yeah, he was a highwayman.
Yeah. I never
Yeah, and
knew
then he,
Chevy Chase was a drummer for Steely Dan before he started.
oh, I
Just
didn't know
heard that
that.
today.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that today. Chevy Chase was a drummer in Steely Dan before.
I'd be damned.
Yeah, that's what I heard today.
Huh. Well, it's hump day. I hope everybody has a good Wednesday hump day. And, once you make it over hump day, you got it whipped. So, and then soon it'll be Thursday, and it'll be Friday, then it'll be Monday again. But we go through our comments and questions like we always do. Craig, you got anything you want to talk about? Any kind of
Well, you
donation
said you
stuff?
didn't see the comment we talked about. I said that if Al Cooper wouldn't have discovered Skinner, that it might never happen. And so and I asked you, and you said you didn't see that in the comments.
Yeah, I didn't see
And
that one.
somebody said that they believe that Skinner would have eventually gotten a chance. And I thought, I kind of think that same scenario too. But that's a weird one because, if that would happen, I would have never been involved, I don't think, because that had happened at a later date, and I wouldn't have been at that hotel.
Yeah, it would have been everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, man. They were up there at that bar, and when he was there, and
Yeah,
they
I wouldn't
saw
have been
him.
involved. And so you wouldn't have the Stone Roadie show.
I
You'd
wonder
probably
if
have
they
some.
knew that Al Cooper came in there all the time. I wonder if they knew that
I don't
whenever they were
know. I
playing there.
doubt it. But as in the same sense, they probably the whole scenario would have gone differently. They'd have never been in a plane crash. I wonder if they would have had the same honkettes, JoJo and Cassie. They wouldn't have probably got Steve. Steve would have probably went on to have his own record deals and stuff. There's a lot of things changed because of that. You don't know if it was for the better or the worse.
No,
It's
you can't figure stuff
just the
like that
way
out, speculate.
just the way shit happened. That's just that's why you're stuck with an asshole head baby to
Well,
the only
they
one
can't became
willing to try to share what I can share with you, but I'm sorry, I'm all you got, but I'm all you got because anybody else that was there and seen anything, they're smart enough not to be involved in this shit.
well, they became Lynyrd Skynyrd kind of became like a martyr band after that plane crash because it's like you can't you left at the very that band closed out at the very height of their career, which was a very high mark that they set. And then, there wasn't no they broke up because, bullshit or whatever. The plane crash is what stopped it, and that's all
They would
part of
have
the
gotten a
story.
lot bigger though, with Steve just joining and writing the songs and stuff. They'd have been a lot bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I
And then
imagine
I'd be a
Alan and
millionaire and I wouldn't have to do this shit.
yeah, true. But then other bad things could have happened worse than that.
Yeah.
Maybe, the next time the plane crashed, it would have been full of fuel. Who knows, man? You can go on and
Yeah, it
on
could have
and
been
on.
worse the next time. You never know.
I had
You never
somebody
know.
message me, and they've asked me this a couple times, but I don't get on my Facebook enough. And then it's the what? Why do you think Ronnie wrote The Needle and the Spoon? What's your opinion of why Ronnie wrote that song?
Well, God, don't mess with the needle or the spoon or the trip to the moon. It's God, they were doing everything there was except shooting up at that time. That's the only and then after the plane crash they started doing that too. So
Oh, so they weren't doing that
no,
during.
no, there weren't no needles running around during the Skinner days. No, there weren't no
Well,
needles.
do you think Ronnie saw that going on somewhere and that's what made him write about it? Or is there any one thing that you
Yeah,
think,
he would have stopped that. If they would have been messing with needles, he'd have stopped that shit.
oh, okay. Well, see, I didn't know. I thought maybe that was going
No,
on
there was
before.
nobody messing with needles then.
So that was after the plane crash that.
Yeah, after the plane crash, the needles, when all the trauma, you had to try try to kill all the anguish. That's when the needles came out.
When Ronnie got through singing, I forget where it was, at Wonderland maybe, and he got through singing The Needle and the Spoon, and he's walking around and kicking his microphone wire, and he says, "You can't smoke it or drink it. To hell with it." You heard him say that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't if you can't smoke it, or if you can't smoke it or drink it, to hell with it. That's what we need to put on a shirt. That's a Ronnie Van Zant right there. That's a Ronnie Van Zant saying. I heard it with my own ears. But yeah, so anything on the donation lines anywhere, Craig?
No, they, the donations seem to be drying up. It's just like, it's just kind of like why I'm just about ready to give this shit up. We're not getting any bigger, and the thing about the donations,
Yeah.
we're about dried up with that, and
True.
the people that we have been very generous. The people
Oh
that
yeah,
have
yeah.
donated. We don't expect you to donate anymore. You've been more than generous, and
Right,
the
right.
people
And
that have donated, you've been, you're done, and everybody seems to be done donating, and YouTube's not letting us get any bigger.
no,
So
they
we're
pull
just we're
our
just
yeah.
spinning our wheels as far as we've raised what 12 grand this year or something. Last year we raised 45, no 35,000. So altogether we've raised about 45, or I don't know, off the top of my head I can figure out.
Yeah, we were
But
we were hoping that
we were
somebody
we
would.
were three times as much last year. So we're really drying up. So yeah, the people that have donated have donated, and they're done. And the people we have now is just listeners. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but as far as supporting the forgotten survivors, that kind of well is running dry.
Yeah,
So we've done what we could. We done the only thing we've done more in 47 years than anybody else has. So you know.
yeah, we were kind of hoping that some multi-millionaire was going to come along and go, "What? These plane crash survivors are having problems," and he'd go, "Well, I'll donate," but I mean, hadn't happened yet. Not that it still can't,
Well,
but
we thought we were going to get a lot more subscribers. If we'd get 1 million subscribers, we could do something. But they're holding us back.
yeah,
they're messing with us. So it's just like,
it's
you know,
our content is not worthy of the channel for sure.
you know.
Yeah, unless you're
So well, I'm
somebody
not gonna.
like,
Well, we're not gonna give it up totally. We're gonna do something at least once a week. But like I said, it's gonna. That the whole object of this thing was to answer questions that people wanted to know that they haven't got answered yet. And we've done this for 2.5 years, and you're not asking any questions. You
yeah,
keep
I got a
asking the
few in
same
here.
questions over and over again. So maybe if we cut it back to once a week, maybe you'll figure out some questions that you want to ask, and maybe I'll know the question answer, and maybe I won't. But
Well, there's so many people that if they first start watching the podcast, they can go back and watch 297
who wants to do
podcasts,
that?
and instead they'd rather ask the question now. Go, man, I'm not going to go watch and try to because who knows where it's at. You're not going
well,
to be able to
when we
find it.
first started, we said we're going to be redundant because we're going to have to repeat things over and over and over, and that's exactly what has happened. So we were at least we were smart enough to know that when we started.
Well, Carol the Cake says if you started doing one podcast per week and go back to the Skynyrd questions, whatever you decide, she says she supports it. So that's I think most people support it. And
Cousin
then
Fagel, thanks for the bong, man. He said you've been coughing a lot on with them pipes. He goes, this bong here is pretty easy on you. And it works pretty good.
speaking of cousin Figel, he sent me the picture of that hat, the Huey hat, and I'll go ahead and put it up right here so you guys can see it.
Yeah, I
But
looked before the show. I looked for it. I couldn't find the daggone thing.
yeah, he sent me the picture.
Yeah, he's told me this story. He told me this whole story about when went there and was talking to Huey. Said he was talking to Huey more than he was Ricky or Gary. And yeah, Huey just happened to mention that his hat had a cut in it, and Craig was going to get him a new hat.
So that's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of funny
crazy, huh?
because now you got the hat with the cut in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be damned. Yeah, and then Jeff, he says, you could do a Saturday night special for all the non-partiers that like to knit, do puzzles, and whittle with wood. Yeah, he said we could do that once a month, but yeah.
Matter of fact, that might be the hat right there. I'm not sure because
Does that look like it?
it's just the same type. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It might be the one because that's a picture they had made right after. Because that
Well,
picture
yeah.
was made right after Mike Estes.
Okay, well then I don't have to put the picture
Mike
up. There it
Estes.
is right there. It looks just
I'm
like
not
it.
sure. I'm not sure. I think that's before I got him the new
Can
hat.
you scroll up some?
No, I can't see it, but that the cut would be over there. Where would it be? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It would be on Johnny's side, right there on the front brim. Yeah, I think it would.
Then moving on to these comments here, Jerome Murphy says, as far as Dave the Disciple goes, he says he didn't really know the guy or anything, but we all need to forgive a little more than we normally do. Yeah, I'll go along with that, Jerome. Yeah, Craig, he don't mean to be a crook.
No, I don't blame him, man. I promised, I swore to him I'd send that stuff out to him, and then I didn't do it. So I am an asshole. But you know, sorry. That's just the way it is. I am
You
what
need
I.
some kind of a reminder thing, like a some kind of a daily calendar.
I'm goddamn mentally ill. I can't change it. It's like people can't lose weight. I can't change. You know.
But you're on top of it when it comes to stuff that like the eBay stuff. So it's got to have a level of importance in your mind. In your mind, it has to have a level of
Yeah.
importance, and then see, and somebody might go, "Well, you crying about subscribers, but you don't send the damn prizes out." You know, somebody probably says, as soon as they heard that. Well, that's from the reason YouTube's taking our subscribers, Well,
YouTube has nothing to, yeah, YouTubers taking the damn subscribers. They ain't got nothing to do with the prices. Whatever. I don't care.
yeah, it's only pissing the 18 people off that didn't get it. So
I ain't gonna argue
I
with
don't think
nobody.
anybody else.
There's women out there that think that they're 5 foot, 5'2", and think they're not fat. I'm not gonna argue with you. You can't argue with an idiot.
And you know what else, Craig? People that didn't win are probably glad you're not mailing it to the people that won. They're probably because they're probably saying, "Well, I didn't win anything. To hell with them." And they're probably glad. They're glad
Ha
they didn't
ha
get
ha! I
this,
didn't win.
and
I
you
didn't
didn't
get
get
that.
it.
I ain't getting all that good shit. So screw you too. You know,
So yeah.
I want that stuff. I want that Hell House poster. I want that Craig Reed sitting on his Mercedes, and I want the Stone
The
Road,
coin, to me, the
and
coin is the
I want the seating chart and the wooden nickel and the $1 million bills and the coin and
yeah.
what else is there? All kind of shit. I want all that shit. Well, if you want it, here it is. Come and get it.
Yeah, they can
You
always
had to
come,
win it.
but you have to bring him a bag of weed if you come to his house. But
No, that ain't true. You ain't got to bring nothing. I have never charged for a damn autograph. People send me stuff all.
well, you
People ask
sell
me
them,
all the time how much I want to sign something. I've never charged anybody for an autograph. That's
except when you sign it something and sell it on eBay.
Well, yeah. If I have to sell something on eBay, hell, eBay. But that's stuff that I don't know. It's different.
John Morrow says, Craig, don't quit. Do a podcast for 2 hours once per week. We need you as our fearless leader for everything Skynyrd.
Well, when are we gonna do one? We do it once a week. Well, we should probably do it Monday morning.
Don't
I
matter
don't
to
know
me.
when we should do one. If we're gonna do one a week, we'll take a vote on it. If
Yeah,
we're gonna do
put it
one
in
a
the
week,
comments. What day do you guys want it to happen?
yeah, what day, what time, what day, and what time. It don't matter what time because you can listen to it. It comes up at
Yeah.
6 in the morning. You can listen to it anytime. But I guess people like that wake and bake. They like to get up in the morning and listen.
Yeah.
They've been liking that, but yeah, whatever.
There's when you're on your way to work, like several people have told me they listen to it when they're in the car.
Saturday night would be good, but that's Kathy's spot. Me and Hurl keep doing Saturday
Right, yeah.
specials.
Yeah.
So
That's
we'll do one a week, but every once in a while, me and Kathy Guzzi will do a Saturday night special. But that's her spot.
and then Kirk Rich says if you stop doing the podcast, he's going to start voting Democrat.
We're not gonna stop. I mean, you know what? Makes me feel good that people want to know about stuff about Skynyrd and if I can, that's a legendary band, man. I mean, if there's stuff I wanted to know about something, I
Well,
wish
yeah,
there
there's
was
still
somebody I
like
could ask, and I don't want to not relinquish what I do know. A lot of stuff I forgot, but what I saw and everything, I don't mind sharing. Glad to.
well, there's also events that go on that sometimes we're part of, and it's kind of not right now in the winter's sort of like the worst time for stuff, but and then we're trying to figure out maybe to do a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band battle of the bands thing. So, it's kind of nice to have the podcast just to
I
stay
don't
in
see that
touch with people.
happening, really. I don't see that ever.
Yeah, it would have to be up to them.
Yeah.
You can't have a battle of the bands unless you have bands to have the battle of the bands with. But
Yeah, that'd be a tough one for everybody to be able to schedule some at the same time and everything. It'd be in travel and everything. It'd be tough. Be cool if
uh,
it could happen, but it'd be tough.
it would be really cool if it could happen. I mean, I think if there was enough interest in it, would be a pretty fun deal. But anyway, and Patricia Lynn, she says she loves your imitation of the doorbell that you were doing.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
That's the one in the basement, right?
No, that's the back door. Front
Oh.
door just goes ding dong.
I disconnect my doorbell. I don't have that shit. I can't stand a doorbell. No,
I
go to
don't
sell my
really
house,
need
I'll
them. As
connect
soon
it.
as somebody pulls up in the driveway, the dogs hear it.
Yeah, they can hear it.
Oh yeah, as soon as they hear tires rolling in the gravel.
Oh yeah.
I can't hear
Yeah.
it. I can't hear it anymore, but they can.
Well, that's good. Well, at least you know somebody's coming to get your gator. Coming coming to steal your gator. Uh, yeah, let me see. Jeff, he's talking about Def Leppard opened for Blackfoot in 1979. It was great. The drummer, Rick Allen, at the time was only 15 years old. Wow. I didn't realize Def Leppard was around. It seemed like to me they were a 80s band, but I guess they were. That damn, that just goes to show you how fast time goes by. Did you ever meet Def Leppard, Craig?
Um, that's the guy with the one-armed drummer, right?
Right, the drummer. Yeah.
Um,
Rick Allen, I believe is the guy's, yeah.
um,
Lost him in
I
a car wreck.
I've done shows with them up at Blossom, I think. God, I don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. But Skinner, Blackfoot opened for Skinner one time that I remember, and I remember
Oh,
Ricky.
they did?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like 75 or something like that, and I remember Ricky coming to the dressing room and everything. And that was like the first time I met Ricky at a gig when they opened up for
But
Skinner.
you had heard about him and everything,
Yeah,
and I
I'd
mean,
heard all about him. Yeah, they talked about Ricky, but I'd never met him, never know who he was. And then Blackfoot opened up for Skinner. I think it was 75, something like that. Yeah, it's the first time I met him.
where was that at?
Somewhere in South Florida, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I remember.
Scooter Weed wants to know, were you in the band in the 70s when they all hid under the bus from the gang with the guys with the Puerto Rican fence climber shoes, and Ronnie had to come and fight all of them by himself while y'all were under the bus?
Oh, that's a bullshit story.
It is?
That must the only time if they had a bus, I was with them because people when I started with them, they had a van, you know. So when if they had a bus, I was with them. But that sounds like San Francisco, and when Ronnie got his ass beat, but me and Dean
Oh,
were out. We weren't with them. Me and Dean were out doing other shit, so I wasn't
they
there.
weren't hiding under the bus though.
No,
They got
there,
back
there,
on the bus.
there's so many bullshit stories, you know.
I
You
know,
know.
yeah. That's like I was talking about on the last podcast. Like if you go to some place that's say it's an old house, a tour of an old home somewhere. Like there's stories about the Van Zant house that probably aren't true. There's all kinds of stories. No matter where you go, people they got to make up a story, to go with it.
Yeah, there are portions of that story that simulate the truth.
Yeah. Did they have Puerto Rican? That's a Gene Odom, Puerto Rican fence climber
I
shoes.
wasn't there, so I don't know what nationality they
Well,
were.
they told you the story though. You know what nationality they were.
I don't know what nationality they
I
were.
heard they were black guys, is what
I
I
don't
heard.
know.
And somebody yelled out the racial
I
word, and
just
that's what
heard.
started it.
That's what I heard, and I heard the guy was a Golden Glove champion, middleweight Golden Glove champion, and Ronnie squared off with him, and the guy hit Ronnie faster, put knots on Ronnie's head faster than he could rub him.
Ronnie met his match on that one,
Oh,
huh?
that guy was I had very fast hands.
And then Scooter Weed, here's a question I can answer. I don't know if Craig knows the answer to this, but he wants to know, why did Gene push Carlos Santana down the stairs? Well, because Gene was backstage and there was people that were coming up there up the stairs to get on the stage, and Gene saw him and he went over there and stopped him. And then Carlos, I guess he was playing with you guys wherever you were, and he tried to come backstage, and Craig didn't know who the hell he was really, and he goes, "Man, let me by. I'm Carlos Santana." He goes, "I don't give a shit who you are," and he pushed him down the stairs, and that's how that happened.
It wasn't me. It was Gene. You said
Yeah, it was Gene.
Yeah.
Gene did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew who Carlos was. Yeah, Gene didn't know those people. I mean, Gene, Gene's like no one on stage. That one's means no one on stage. I don't give a shit who you are. No one on stage, so.
But Gene's got some stories about the Rolling Stones, and Keith Richards, and I mean he was security for them. So,
that's their scenario, man. Don't matter who the hell you are, no one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, that's what happened I remember meeting Carlos Santana at the Lakeland Mall. It had to be, God, early 70s. They were down at the Specs Music, and he had like a little card table set up, and it was him and some girl and some dude, and they were signing albums. And I got to talk to him a little bit, but he didn't care about some little kid, man. But I just couldn't believe that guy was at Specs Music, and hardly anybody even standing in line. But he was already been to Woodstock by then and everything. He's pretty famous. Yeah, so that's the deal on that there, Scooter Weed. Then Harvey Dupree says, has anybody heard anything from Paul Abraham lately? Because he hasn't seen anything on Facebook. Yeah, I wonder how Paul's doing there, Craig. We maybe ought to give him a call or something.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Paul in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, he usually, he would post on. It seemed like I saw a couple likes that he did a few weeks ago. But yeah, he's right. I haven't seen anything. Then Autumn Honecker wants to know, what was the wildest party that you remember that the Skynyrd boys ever threw?
Ah, that's a laugh. Like I'm supposed to remember that. The wildest one's the one I don't remember.
What's the one you had the most fun with?
The one I don't remember. I don't know. God, there was a lot of them. They all involved cake fights. I remember the one where we destroyed that restaurant in England at the end of the Trinifold party. And we had that cake fight, and that was a lot of fun. And then and then in Greece, we went to that Greek restaurant, and we were breaking all those. After we got done eating, we were breaking all the plates, and that Greek guy was doing all that Greek dancing, and Leon was dancing. There was a lot of good times, man. We had a lot of fun times, parties and stuff. We went to a really rich guy's house in Japan. A very wealthy man, and he had it all. It was at his house, and it was it was nice, man. He had a bunch of cars, and it was he had surfers. It was
So you
nice.
had a party. There was a party there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was some very wealthy Japanese guy's house. Yeah.
Wow. Well, how
Yeah,
did you
he
get
had tons
invited
of
to
fun.
that? Did somebody Dean knew?
No, I think the promoter Udo, Mr. Udo, he was like the big Japanese promoter over there. I think he knew the guy. I would imagine that's how it happened. There's a lot of, we had a
Oh my
lot of
God, I
fun.
guarantee you've been
There
to
was
so
so
many.
many times. It's countless. I mean, God, I was with them for 4 years. I mean,
It was a
at
constant
least once
party.
a week there was a very memorable event that happened, and that's 400 weeks. No, yeah, that's 400 parties or whatever.
Man.
That's a lot of shit. A
Because
lot of drugs.
basically what happened with you was like you ran into these guys that were in an up and coming band at a hotel and they hired you pretty much and that was your e-ticket for party land for the next freaking the
Yeah,
rest
I
of your
mean that
life.
was my ticket. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my destiny. Yeah, that was yeah. I was glad I was in that dimension at the time. Yeah, for sure. Wouldn't want to do it. I couldn't imagine doing it in my whole life. I couldn't imagine if I'd have wanted to change any of that. There's no way I could. No way would I had any more fun. I'd have made a lot more money, but you know,
But you ain't
all you can take with you is your memories of stuff that you did. It's too bad I can't remember a lot of this stuff, but the stuff I remember is pretty cool. You know.
yeah. And if you need money, you just go dig it up out of the yard whenever it just
Yeah,
starts
heck
running
yeah.
low in those jars. Jimmy J says Blackfoot achieved national success in 1979, but we're together years before that. So I guess they were around the same time Skinner was
Yeah,
around.
They were a band in '74, just like Skynyrd was. You know,
Yeah.
but trying to make it, but they didn't make it till after Skynyrd was gone, like a lot
And
of them.
then Jimmy says 10 months and counting on his prize winning. Been 10 months. All's good with me though, Craig. When I get it, it will be like Christmas. Yeah, you might get it next Christmas.
Donald Johnson, he called me today. He said, "Hell, it was a lot more fun coming and getting it myself." He said that was a ball. Wants to do it again.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, then Cheesehead says he can do once per month. Um, I guess he meant once a week, once per month, but he just wants to see, he's just happy to see Skinner every now and then, a special guest. Not sure if I wrote that down right. Sorry about that, Cheesehead, but yeah, we'll do one once a week and
Yeah,
see how that goes.
we don't need to talk about how big and fat people are. They know how well they don't know how fat they are. They think they're
Oh, well,
just
you're
normal.
not going to stop talking about fat people. You just can't. That's just not in your DNA. That's just not in your damn DNA, man. And then the last comment was from Kimmy, and she says, her boobs are not sagging bags of fat. I'm going to send you a private picture of my boobs, Craig, and show you how my boobs are firm.
All righty. Oh, cool.
Well, she was supposed to send that already.
Oh, there's people that write me and ask me where the plaster casts are of Kimmy's boobs.
That's Kimmy brags on her boobs a lot, but we haven't seen anything yet. Not that I'm looking to see anything. You just show it to Craig, and Craig can describe it for us. Yeah, when you get my age, boobs, they're
Uh,
okay. They're nice, but they're not like the main thing.
Yeah, what they're attached to. You got to be attracted to what they're attached to. You know?
Yeah.
It ain't just all boobs. It's got to be attached to something. But besides 10 pounds of makeup and fake eyelashes and fake hair and fake nails and fake everything.
Yeah, and I just noticed a lot of these women now on Facebook, they're putting these cartoon faces up. They're like a glamour. It's like AI, and you can't even see if they're real anymore. They're just like, so, I
Yeah.
mean, and they're beautiful. And then, but are they really beautiful? And then I get like all of these fake women sending me stuff they're just trying to get money out of us, Craig, because they think we're desperate.
Oh, I saw pictures of people were posting of the when they were out in the bars during St. Patrick's Day in the damn bar, just full of goddamn fat women. That's all it was. Goddamn bars full of goddamn fat women out there like this, and that goddamn fat just a rolling, boy. Man,
Like,
that's
with the bingo arms.
if they didn't have long hair and 10 pounds of makeup on and boobs, you wouldn't know if it was a fat man or a fat woman. You can't tell. If you take off all that phony shit, and even the men have big old boobs, so unless they're them great big watermelons,
Yeah,
men
after
think they're attractive, then it's probably a woman. But besides that, they look like fat men.
after you Dave kind of wrote you that bad email, I kind of felt sorry for Craig, so I said I'm gonna go on Facebook and post some fat thing for Craig. And so I went on there and I put on there, I said, I don't know if you saw this, I said, the fatter people get, the closer they need to park to the grocery store until they finally end up in an electric chair. I don't know if you saw that. And then everybody was like commenting on it and everything. But yeah, I found myself trying to make Craig feel better by posting something fat comment.
Oh, I went to the store today. I saw this big old fat woman getting in this truck with her damn arms are just full of tattoos. I said, boy, whoa, boy, are you sexy looking. Shoot. God almighty knows.
Well, if you got a big arm, then you can get a tattoo on it. You can't run around with a tattoo on a skinny little arm.
God almighty.
But when you see the guy in the motorcycle gang with a skinny little arm with a tattoo, and then his old lady with a big arm on the back.
Oh God! All
with a tattoo on that.
Big arms, big arms, big legs, big butt, big Bertha.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, y'all don't.
People will be wanting us not to do these damn.
Y'all don't need to throw your Doritos out of your lunch at work today just because Craig's being an angry crook.
Yeah, I'm just a grumpy old man, and I'm an asshole baby with a water head. And this has been podcast 297. And happy trails to you until we meet again. And see you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. And that's a wrap. Cut.
See you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. See you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. Greg and Griff will see you next time.